Welcome back to the Red Crew. It's your boy Chesco. We are here with Matthew, Luis, and we are here. We are here with another episode of the Rec Combat.
Combat.
This is the new. Remember, you asked me, are you still just doing one show? No, we have another show with Isaiah. You know Isaiah. So Isaiah is a fighter. You know David? I think you know David. Does he know David?
You met David? Tall dude?
No, I don't think
Very
so.
funny.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I met him.
Anyways, we would like to include you in this.
Alright.
We're doing a strictly combat fighting podcast, right?
All right.
A wing of the Red Crew. Of course we'll cross over, especially UFC events and things like that. But we call it Red Combat. So this is actually our first episode. Yeah, pilot episode.
Pilot episode.
Because we recorded a pilot episode, but Luis that day decided to go, I think, wine tasting or something like that. And
so what happens whenever I go wine tasting?
Nothing
happens here.
He forgets to focus the camera.
When I'm not here, apparently.
It's Tone's fault, without a doubt. Tone could. It's
No
either
accountability on this
Luis's
guy.
fault or Tone. Like, I delegate. This is
It's
my
my
team.
fault for not being here.
And we also figured something out, Matthew.
What is that?
My team hates me. So this is my team, right? Luis, David, Isaiah, Tone. Like, not even gonna talk about the other two. The other two definitely hate me. They don't do anything. At least these guys do something. Like, they do it wrong, but they do it. They do it, right? They're proud of you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, they don't do it well, but they do it.
Gotta recognize
You know what I
something
mean?
is done.
And so, for example, David wasn't here because he decided to go to Lake Charles. You know what's in Lake Charles?
A lake.
A lake, yeah, that's it. In a casino, I guess.
I mean, I like lakes. and
Isaiah
casinos.
didn't come to the last one because, like Luis, he decided to run into something. So at least he fits here. Like he's got the
Je ne sais quoi that it takes to be
yeah. The how you say requisitos?
Requisitos?
Yeah.
Oh,
the requirements. He has the
Oh,
requirements to be
okay.
here.
Prerequisites.
Yeah, prerequisites there though. And well, Luis, he's a all around go getter. All right, so we are here to post. No, what is it?
To recap.
Recap. There we go.
And when I'm the bad one, right?
To recap.
His whole job is just to host.
I mean, I imagine this is gonna get posted, so I mean, still not wrong. We just
Thank you. See, that's why.
save.
See, there's somebody on my team that likes me.
Okay.
We're here to recap UFC 300. We're gonna go really fast through the prelims, early prelims and prelims, and then we will, give a little longer deep dive.
The main card.
To the main card. Okay, so what was the first fight of the entire night?
Davison Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt.
Davison Figueiredo choked out Cody Garbrandt in the second round. I watched that fight while driving. I risked my life for you guys, just so I would be able to do this. I was on 45. Okay, you ever watched Fast and Furious?
I have.
Too Fast and Furious?
Yes.
R.I.P. Paul Walker. You ever watch that scene where he is driving and looking at Eva Mendes like this? So that's what I was doing.
I mean, it's fair.
Yeah, so you see how romantic that was? He was like driving and looking at Eva Mendes. Well, I was doing the same thing, driving and looking at Cody Garbrandt, getting choked out. So I did the same thing for you guys, and while I was doing that, Davison Figueiredo choked him out in the second round after losing the first round, if I'm being honest. But Davison Figueiredo, real quick, what was he ranked? I think 8th, something like that.
I don't think he was ranked. This is his first,
second fight. He beat Rob Font.
Yeah, he'd be technically unranked in the weight class.
He beat Rob. He already had a fight at bantamweight.
Oh, he beat Rob Font?
Yeah,
Let's see. Davison Figueiredo.
bantamweight.
Yeah, number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah,
So
that's a
he
quick
may have a
rise.
good fight coming up. Like, he may fight. Who's? Can you give me 6-1?
6-1.
I mean, you should include 7, wouldn't?
Okay, so.
Yeah. Why not? Why are we gonna leave that one person out?
Yeah, Song Yadong, Henry Cejudo, Marlon Vera, Peter Yan, Corzan Hagen,
Look, Marlon Vera.
Aljamain Sterling, Merab.
I think
The
Cheeto Vera is a good one there. If he fights Cheeto Vera, he might put himself in for a title. So we'll see what's up with that. What's next?
Next fight is Bobby Green murders Jim Miller.
So mean.
That's how
I mean,
his fights go, though. If you can't catch him, you're gonna have a very, very long.
Jim Miller should have been taken to the hospital.
Night.
Pretty sure he was.
I think most of them go to the
Pretty
hospital.
sure
Actually.
he was, yeah. But no, yeah. Bobby Green won quite fairly. He did very well. First round, I think he won on 3, but first round was competitive. But after that, he took over. Bobby Green was ranked 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Bobby
Yeah.
Green was ranked.
Was he ranked at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, lightweight, 155.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay, so no, doesn't
Oh,
mean.
number 14. He's ranked number 14.
So I don't think it means much for Bobby Green. Jim Miller, just anecdote. He fought at UFC 100, 200, and 300. So
Okay.
pretty cool thing.
You think he'll be there at 400?
I doubt it. He's 40 years old.
He'll probably be in the audience.
He's 40 years old. Yeah. What's the next one?
Next fight is Jessica Andrade versus Marina
That's
Rodriguez.
the first fight that Matthew watched. What you saw in that fight?
Marina was doing a really good job. I didn't really catch the first round. I think that was what maybe kind of started off the favor going towards Andrade. I think she she always holds power. She pushes the pace, and I think it really makes judges.
Marina Andrade
prefer
was
her.
definitely a better boxer, but every time that Andrade got in there, closed the distance, she was able to take. So I think she won fairly. What's the next one?
Jalen Turner versus Renato Moicano.
Renato Moicano. We watched this one.
Badass choke.
Not only that, I think Jalen Turner messed up. Like Jalen Turner tried to do a walk away. Remember he knocked him down.
man,
Yeah, in the
big
first round. Huh?
Man, he could have
big
jumped
fight
on him.
error. Yeah, fight error.
He could have
there.
jumped on him and could have jumped on him and possibly finished it and didn't. So and then second round or was it third that Renato Moicano choked him out.
Round 2.
Renato Moicano is ranked.
Renato Moicano is ranked number 8. I just had it.
And that really cost him more than just the fight. I mean, it cost him a bonus because
13.
with that
That would have been
with
great.
that punch and then the follow-ups, I think it was still been worthy
Yeah, it would
of
have been good.
Number 13.
Number
Jalen
13.
Turner is ranked number 10.
I think Renato Moicano is ranked. What you said again? 13.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Renato Moicano, 13. Jalen Turner, number 10.
Okay, number 10. Number 13, Renato Moicano. Who's
So he's number 10 on Tuesday, I would assume.
Can you go 12 to 6?
Rafael de los Anjos, Benito Saint Denis, Benoit Saint Denis, Jalen Turner, Dan Hooker, Rafael Fasiev, Benil Dariush, Michael Chandler, Mateus Gamrot.
Okay, stop there. Benoit Saint Denis, Benil Dariush, or Dan Hooker, one of those 3.
Okay.
For Renato
Saint Denis.
Saint Denis, right?
Saint Denis just off a loss. So.
Off of loss, and similar ranking. Renato Moni Moicano, how he calls himself. He really wants to go up the ranking. You got to beat that guy. So we'll see.
I mean, that guy just fought Poirier, so he's a real
Legit.
real motherfucker.
All right, what's next?
Okay, next fight is Sodiq Yusuf versus Diego Lopez.
Sadiq Yusuf versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez for real, bro.
Yeah, he is.
He ended it early. He didn't just grapple. He got him on the feet.
Yeah, he's got
2
a
uppercuts.
future.
That dude for real, man.
You think he goes into rankings then?
I think so. What Sadiq Yusuf was ranked.
Number 13.
Yeah, I think he goes at least 14.
I mean, the man can strike. The man
Maybe
can,
even takes over his ranking. We don't know.
he can grapple. He's got it all. He's young as hell,
Yeah.
and he deals with the pressure really well. So yeah.
Next fight is Holly Holm, and we see the debut of Kayla Harrison.
Look, I'm a big Holly Holm fan, but I think it's time. I think it's time for Holly Holm to call it.
Well, I mean, they threw her to the fucking wolves today.
yeah,
Like,
they did.
come on. Like, we know, you want Kayla Harrison to do well, but that was not a sufficient fight for her.
No, it's just. Honestly, that division is.
And there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of sufficient fights that you could have brought her in on.
That division is the worst division there is in the UFC. It's just there's nobody. Like the champion has no type of power, star power. They're just waiting for Juliana Pena to take over, and I don't think Juliana Pena is like a great fighter either. She's just like the best of what there is right now.
Well, I mean, she put up. She's put up before. She's put up.
She beat Amanda Nunes, which is great, but
She couldn't do it twice, but I mean, she was in that fight too until she
she's
wasn't.
tough for sure.
So
But I do think that by the end of the year, Kayla Harrison will be the champion. Yeah. If she could keep making weight.
Absolutely.
Who do you think she fights?
I think she fights the winner of that. Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena have to fight eventually, right?
Okay.
So whenever they
So
fight.
they fight first and then again
and
Kayla
then,
Harrison?
yeah, they get Kayla Harrison.
I would put money that Amanda comes back for that fight, though.
I think that makes sense. I think that Kayla Harrison fights. Look, for the girls bantamweight division, is Juliana Pena versus Raquel Pennington to co-headline something, right? And then hopefully Juliana Pena wins that, and then Kayla Harrison takes it from Juliana Pena. Maybe that brings back Amanda, and by that time you have enough time to, create a new star.
Yeah, and I would say it's one of those things that it's probably will happen just because if she comes back, beats Kayla, she can just go back into retirement, no problem. There's nobody else.
Yeah, there isn't. Shevchenko again. I watched that fight 30 times.
Yeah, but I mean, she beat her twice, didn't she?
She beat her twice, but the second one I think Shevchenko won. I stand by that.
I'll go back and watch those again.
Yeah.
All right. Next fight is Calvin Kattar and Aljamain Sterling making his featherweight bout.
I was shockingly surprised how good
he looked. Aljamain Sterling.
Aljo looked great.
He looked like he belonged in that division.
He did.
He belonged in the division. He looked good at that weight. He looked full. He didn't look like he was
unnatural.
Yeah,
he didn't look
yeah,
unnatural. He looked very natural. He looked like he put on the weight the right way. He looked fast. He looked strong.
I think it's something that's been put off for a while just because of his position at 135. So seeing that, he did what he did, and then now making some room for his teammate. The natural movement was to move up, and it was already in his plans. It just now the doors have opened their way for it, and he's already up there. What is that? Top 10, right? Is it at least top 15?
I think he enters the top 10.
Calvin Kattar was number 8. So
yeah, he's definitely in the top. So he'll take number 8. He'll take number 8 on Tuesday.
He might even go 7. Like he might.
Well,
he
didn't beat 7, so you can't knock out 7.
But where's
unless it's
La
number 7
Pantera?
has
Where is he? Yair Rodriguez.
I know he is. Yair Rodriguez number 4.
All right, he ain't going that high, but
I mean, that would be a good fight, though.
We got Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, Movsar Evloev, Yair Rodriguez.
I think he goes 6.
6.
I think he goes
Arnold
6.
Allen.
He goes above Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen lost his last fight. So did Josh Emmett. Oh no, Josh Emmett beat Doug Nasty.
I don't think they shoot him up there. I think they do put him up for his next fight will be up there, like against 5-6.
I think he has a path to the title. I really do think he'll be like 6th, 7th around there in the rankings, and then his next fight could be Yair Rodriguez.
See, that's what I see more. I see him going to 8 and then fighting like number 4 or something like that, and then wins that fight. It's a championship.
Which the history of Yair Rodriguez shows that he can be Yair Rodriguez because he can't really wrestle. That puts him right there.
Yeah, he's trouble for anybody at 45.
Or honestly, if he beats that Eliov guy, which is a harder fight, he gets the title shot immediately. Because that's the only guy who's in title contention, Eliov. So, I think Aljo has a path to the title.
Absolutely. He's a former champion and like recently.
All right. And the last fight of the prelims is Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic.
Rakic.
Look,
man, Rakic was winning both rounds.
He was.
He kicked those legs off.
Kicked the hell out of those legs for 2 rounds, and that dude is just a monster, man. He just walked through everything. He didn't let it phase him.
Yeah.
And it was impressive. Like, but I think it did show that he's limited.
Well,
yeah, I wouldn't put him in the title contentions.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, think about it this way. He just fought for that title, and he did some damage to Alex, where, as we'll go over later, Alex didn't have any trouble tonight.
He didn't. Now, we're saying, like, Jamahal Hill and Alex Pereira seem like they have a different type of punching power. If you get hit that much by those 2 guys, you are going to sleep. He got hit a lot. Not just in the legs. He got hit up top. He got hit everywhere.
That's my point. Is like Jiri is one of these guys like I don't know, say like a Gaethje, where they're dangerous to to the end.
Till the
You
end,
you can
yeah.
batter them, and you know, as we'll talk about later, there's so much that can happen even to, you know, the last second.
Yep.
Yeah, but and he came back, took over. But I think he did see something in this fight, which I guess that's why I think it won't work against those two guys. I think that Yuri at one point, remember, even we said it, like, stay in, stay in. We were saying stay inside,
Mhm.
because he realized that Rockets just was not gonna hurt him. He could walk through his punches.
Yeah.
So even though it sucks and it's not a great way of winning, it wasn't pretty. He realized he could stay inside on the inside and you know, like, just walk through the punches and win a battle. I don't think you definitely can't do it against Pereira, and I don't think you could do it against Jamahal.
Well, I think against Pereira you can, but it's got to be closer. You've got to get inside of that hook range. That's
but
the
if he
difference.
catches you one, you're done.
Well, yeah, and
that's what
that
happened
was
in their
well.
fight.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But if you really get to like the Mexican boxing range, where you're almost like
In their chest.
head to chest.
Head to chest.
Now you're in a place where you have power, and you're stuffing a lot of the punches that, you know, these guys have, and what a lot of them have is like that just that boxing range power, where it's like if they can extend their punch, you're toast. So
Yeah, it might work, but I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, I'd say 8 out of 10 fights with you know, Alex, he would lose.
Yeah. So so I don't know what's next for Prochazka. I think Jamahal makes more sense than Pereira. I think let Pereira do whatever the hell he wants. Go over to let him fight. Let him fight heavyweight. Let him fight Adesanya. Let him fight whoever he wants.
Prochazka, he's not a money fight.
It's not. And not after the last thing that happened, right? Like the last fight wasn't close. It was quick.
Nah, but there's other people at light heavyweight.
Can you go through that? There's not a lot.
Light heavyweight is going to be
Ankalaev.
Jamal Hill, who we just beat. Jared Prochazka, which we're saying he's not going to be good for. Magomed Ankalaev, Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, Yan, who's
Alex-
40-something
Blachowicz.
years old.
Alexander Rachik, Nikita
Rakic.
Krylov, Johnny Walker.
Yeah, it's just not a lot, man.
Johnny Walker's always a problem.
Johnny Walker just lost.
But I mean, he's always a problem, especially in the striking game. It's like,
The next guy up is Ankalaev, and I just don't think he's good enough. And so, well, I don't know.
I mean, he had some trouble with the leg kicks from Blachowicz.
Blachowicz, yeah.
So I mean, he's had plenty of time to create an answer for that.
Yeah.
But just
And
when
so
you look at that and you look at who he's fighting, you know, he's gonna have to be really wary that he's gonna get kicked to the legs a lot, and that's just to open up for that hook, really.
All right, so now we're gonna go deep dive with the worst, with the main card, and we're gonna start with the worst fight of the entire night.
Which says a lot.
Which says a lot.
It says a lot.
You know, it's.
I mean, it wouldn't say a lot
Honestly,
because
it
the
wasn't the
fights were
worst.
so fantastic
Yeah.
that the worst fight of the night was still a good fight.
It wasn't the worst of fights. You're right. It wasn't the worst of fights. Cody Garbrandt, can't get his name, man. No, that's not Garbrandt.
Oh, Cody Brundage.
Cody-
So,
Brundage.
first fight of the main event is going to be, or the main card is going to be Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage.
Now, yeah, Brundage,
He came with it. He came with it, and he
the
he
husband
was
of Amanda Brundage.
okay.
We looked this up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Interestingly, that being said, he came with it tonight, and he came with the intentions to shock the world. And I mean, obviously, there's a lot of stock in Bo Nickel and, you know, what he's accomplished and his abilities as a wrestler and his punching power and, you know, just an athlete all around. And he's young, so, you know, going against that, you know, Cody came in and really put in some work, and he tested the grappling slightly of Bo Nickel, but I mean, ultimately it was give or take what we expected.
Yeah, it was the hardest fight of Bo Nickel's career, but still wasn't much. Let's try to give Bo Nickel a real fight. Can we see the rankings
Absolutely.
for middleweight?
The rankings for middleweight are. How far?
Let's go 15 because he's
okay.
not even ranked yet.
Kaya Borrallo, Chris Curtis, Paul Craig, Anthony Hernandez, Hamzat Shemaev, Jack Hernandez.
What is
Hamzat, for
Hamzat?
sure.
Number 11.
Damn, why?
He hasn't been fighting
He fought Usman.
at 170.
No, at 185.
Oh, at 185. Oh well, I mean Usman wasn't ranked.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep going or no?
Yeah, you sure?
Jack
I-
Hermanson,
Check
uh, Roman Dolidze.
I'd like to see him against Paul Craig.
Paul Craig. Paul Craig is a.
He's
fighter.
good from the bottom.
I think a fight. If you want to keep pushing him and you give him a ranked guy, it's Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis. I think he beats Chris Curtis easily.
Well, Paul Craig's fighting.
But Paul Craig is a little bit more dangerous of a fight.
Did he just fight? Or he's fighting soon. One of the two.
I think he just fought or he's fighting soon. Can you check Paul Craig? real quick?
Absolutely.
Paul Craig. The thing about Paul Craig, I
Paul Craig fought November 18th, 2023.
Okay, so it's been a while.
does he have a fight coming up?
It looks like he has a fight.
I think
coming up.
it's like next weekend.
See, yeah, he's fighting Borrallo.
Who's that? What's his name?
Yeah, he's fighting in 301.
Oh, he's fighting 301. That's where we saw
Oh,
it.
okay. He's on that
Ah.
card. Oh yeah, I was saying Paul Craig's on this one. Yeah, I like Paul Craig. I think he pulls stuff out of his ass, and
He's a great
it's
jiu-jitsu player.
Yeah.
But Paul Craig is more of a dangerous fight. I think Chris Curtis gives you a ranking, and you still get to push him. You know what I mean? Because obviously they want to push Bo Nickel.
Yes.
So I'm like, we'll push him, but give him somebody he can beat, but a ranked fighter, like a good fighter. Chris Curtis is a good fighter, but he's not championship level. And put him with Chris Curtis, then put him with Paul Craig. And Paul Craig is kind of like that Neil Magny, Jeff Neal type of fight. You know what I mean? That gatekeeper fight. And if you can get past Paul Craig, it's like, okay, now you're the real deal. Now we can actually see you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, he's a well-rounded fighter. He's a good striker,
Yes.
and he's got good grappling. Probably neither of those are going to be as good as Bo Nickel at this point in terms of his abilities in striking and grappling.
Bo Nickel's
But
a young guy and everything. So, but you gotta test him eventually. That's why I think Chris Curtis is a good enough test, where you're not throwing him to the wolves, but you are testing him a little bit. So Chris Curtis, I think, would make sense for both.
Yeah. I'm not against
He's
it.
dangerous.
I would watch that.
Next fight is lightweight bout between Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian.
Charles Oliveira. Good fight.
That was a fantastic fight.
Very good
Back
fight.
and forth. Oliveira showed up today, and well, obviously,
It was a tricky fight because control time was clearly Sarukian the entire fight. However, Charles Oliveira almost ended it twice. Ended it in the first
yeah,
round.
he's always looking for a finish.
But he had a guillotine in, couldn't end it there in the first round, and in the third round he ended the fight with a Darsk on.
Yeah.
The Darsk was on, and if he they were deep, they were in both times, and he just couldn't finish it, and that's why judging's a little funny because they're like who inflicted the most damage, who was closer to ending the fight, and that was clearly Oliveira in those both rounds, but the rest of the round time control wise was clearly Sarukian. So
I think one of the issues on that fight for Oliveira is he wasn't doing as much on the feet as he normally does. He's more active. He's known to have incredible hand power, and he didn't land much. He wasn't very aggressive on the feet, and I think that sets up for him to get to people's backs, and he did get to the back, but it presents itself in a more profitable situation more often. Like I think when he did it to Gaethje, I think it was off of punches, and I guess he did some kind of evade, or he was trying to fight a takedown or something and presented his back, and then of course he mounted the back and finished with the rear naked. So I think his going in there with heavy hands and kickboxing really opens up his ability to finish people with the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, this night I think ended up being kind of sort of perfect for Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier. Okay, explain.
Cause who was next for Islam. I think if Charles wins this, it puts him right in line to face Islam.
Yeah.
He lost.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it later, but Justin Gaethje, if he would have won, right in line, he lost. Dustin Poirier just had a great fight with Benoit Saint-Denis, who was an up and comer, beat him. He's the only one that's off a victory. If we go on the rankings, I think Dustin Poirier was number 2 or 3.
Wait a minute.
Dustin Poirier's number 3.
I think we need to talk about the following
We
fight
will,
in
we
order
will.
in order to
Okay,
finish your point off.
Let's go into it.
For the BMF title, we have Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway.
So not to toot my own horn, but I think the fight played out a little bit how I expected it. You're right. I did not expect that final sequence.
I don't think anybody could. I don't think anybody
Yeah,
could predict
well,
that.
Yes, like,
neither of the fighters predicted that, because first off, Gaethje didn't expect to have a chance to really get back into the fight at that moment, and Holloway, being on Mount Everest height at that moment, said, "Let's go to the fucking center of the ring and let's finish this off. Let's beat BMFs," and they definitely are
We said it. Max Holloway had everything to lose and nothing to gain from doing what he did.
in that last sequences.
The last
Is
10
what you're
seconds,
referring to, and as Holloway said, Gaethje did that by taking the fight.
Yeah.
And that back to your point previous to us talking about this. Now this opens up the talk about the Dustin Poirier, but yeah, Justin Gaethje not winning tonight, and
but I do want to talk about that real
Oliveira.
quick before we go into like the title stuff. And honestly, I was gonna say the things that don't matter, like the title really doesn't. Like this is like the romanticism, like the beautiful part of it. Like these two dudes did not have to take this fight. These two dudes did not have to meet in the center of the ring and did what they did. Like they both knew that how Justin Gaethje ended up. That was a risk they took on purpose. Neither one of them needed it. Neither one of them had to do that.
It's a fight they did for the people.
But the reason they do it is because that's what they are, right? Mm-hmm. That's what these two are.
Bad motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what these two are. And like I said it about Dustin Poirier when he beat Benoit Saint-Denis. He did not have to fight Benoit Saint-Denis. He did it because the dude is just a bad motherfucker. And this belt is suited for them. Like, suited for them.
Yep.
Because those two are just different. And now going into what you said, this ended up being either a perfect night for Dustin Poirier, unless Max Holloway decides. Joe Rogan said it. Give him whatever the hell he wants.
He deserves that.
He deserves what he can fight. If he wants to fight,
give him the $600K bonus.
Give him whatever. If he wants to fight John Jones, let him. Like, let him fight.
It'll be an exciting fight.
This dude is different, bro. Like, he just went up and fought Justin Gaethje, a scary fight for anybody. He went up, and after the last time he went up and fought Dustin Poirier, it didn't go well for him. He definitely fought well. He didn't get knocked out or nothing, but it was hard. He lost and comes up and fights this guy. So if I think the fight should be, and Luis said it worked out perfect. I think this is the fight that Max Holloway has taken less damage in.
Yeah, and gotten the most hype from.
Yes, you see the Yair Rodriguez fight. He took damage. He takes damage in the Volkanovski fights. He's taking damage. This fight, he didn't take a lot of damage, and it's crazy to say he didn't take a lot of damage, but he's ready to fight in 4 or 5 months.
This is the perfect situation for Max Holloway.
I think yes, but I think Holloway should focus on that 155 belt. If he can get that fight, he should fight Islam and get that, because that's a belt he has not had, and that 45 does not relinquish. Like, he can go back down and win the 145 belt and now be a double champ, and like really just come to the fruition of like the extreme star power. He can go close a lot of books. Like, he can, if he wants to fight Alexander Volkanovski again and get that one back, he can fight Dustin Poirier and get that one back. Now, just by going over there and being able to, and he's really giving them chances at that point, come and try to get the belt, and from a winning position.
agree if he can beat Islam.
Which is the biggest
Yeah,
thing
Yeah,
in the
but
world.
so
There's more of a probability of him beating Topuria than him beating Islam.
yeah, but we know who Holloway is. Holloway is not. He's not here trying to take the safe fight. That's not what he did tonight.
I
And he didn't do anything safe in that fight. He tried to finish the fight, the whole fight, and when he was winning, he did not do what we say he should do, which is stay on his bike and jab and throw punches and get out, and that's what he was winning with. But at the end, still wanted to finish it. At the end, with 15 seconds left, said, let's meet in the middle and not take a step back. That's what they did, and he was a better boxer, better chin, and he ultimately landed the punch while winning majority of the rounds. So
I'm with you. If he wants to give it to him, I think the best place to go to get Topuria. Why? First of all, there's very few fighters that have nothing left to prove. He's one of them.
Yeah.
Second of all, the
well, the
path-
double champ status is it's a financial
what-
incentive that's gigantic because he's already big at 145, but at 155 he's going to be gigantic in terms of his star power. I mean, he'll overtake.
But Max Holloway doesn't have that much time left. Like Max
Well, hence why he needs to go for these opportunities because.
But if
all
he
right,
wins to
it's
240, if he wins to 145, technically he is double champ.
so the thing is with like fighting Islam right now. If he's ever gonna go for 155 champ, now's the time. Now that he's in his
No.
body, because he's gonna have to lose it again to go back down to 45.
No.
So if he's gonna go 155, go 155 now.
Okay.
And
See,
if you want,
we did
now
talk
that
about
you
that.
have that belt,
No, but let me
He
paint
did-
you this. Let
he
me
did
paint.
look good at 155.
Oh, no,
Max
great.
Holloway,
You look
you
great.
look great.
No, but let
and
me
the
paint you
amount of
this.
work that he had to do to get his body like that,
But
it's
let
a
me paint you
waste to
this
go back
scenario.
down.
Let me paint you this scenario because I painted the scenario to them. I said, perfect scenario for the UFC is Max Holloway beats Topuria. Sean O'Malley beats whoever he's fighting next, Corey Sandhagen, Marab, whoever. Max Holloway fights Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley wins. He becomes Conor McGregor at that point. If that scenario goes.
So
Now,
you're saying for the UFC, that's the best case scenario.
that's for the UFC. Now, for Max Holloway, best scenario. Max Holloway goes and fights Topuria, wins the 145 belt. At the same time, Dustin Poirier fights Islam, finds a way to win that. He beats Islam. Dustin Poirier has the belt. Max Holloway fights Dustin Poirier, wins that. If I'm Max Holloway, if I'm able to do that, pull that off,
Yeah.
I'll never put on a glove of MMA again. And I am retiring as the GOAT if I am able to do that. And that is a path that is realistic. That is a path that could definitely happen.
Both of those are realistic.
Which one?
If he was to fight Sean or if he was to fight
Either way, those are the same things. I just think in terms of
But he retires as the GOAT. Honestly, well, like him and John Jones, like there is no better career if he is able to do that. Because, like you said, he gets double champ status. He was a BMF with or without this belt.
Yes.
Like, let's be honest.
So I guess what it comes down to in terms of from Max's perspective is it more worth it for him to get more time to prepare his wrestling defense essentially to fight Islam, or is it more beneficial to get your body
Just
ready?
to fight the strikers.
Well, yeah, but fighting the strikers, that's not what he does. He goes and he's trying to break ground. Like he said, I'm a fucking gladiator. I got time here. I'll fight you or I'll fight you. I don't care. Yeah. But when you think about business-wise, I think beating Islam that's the one that will really solidify it. Just beating him, he's already the GOAT.
And
He's the
honestly,
greatest of all
disagree
time.
with that. I disagree with that. It's not that he's not better. Like, Islam just hasn't grabbed the fans for some reason.
Yeah, if you're gonna talk about business, you gotta see which one's the most
Trust
popular
me.
fight.
Trust me.
being
Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway makes more money than Islam versus.
Yeah, but my point is in solidifying his career, and then from there, my point is your body has to be in a specific type of shape to fight Islam because you're doing a lot of grappling.
Yeah,
you're pushing off. It's just you have to be very strong, and you have to be able to sustain that strength for 5 rounds because until you knock him out, you're not. And I think he's gone through all this work to build that strength to be able to fight somebody like Gaethje, and to what he did to Gaethje. I think he's living on top of the world right now. This is the mindset you need to be in. He's already in the body. He's already in the weight. Now you can fight Islam. You go down, you beat Topuria. You have not gotten any closer to being ready to fight Islam.
Yeah.
And now you got all these people that are ready to go fight for that 145 belt. And it's like you're already over here and you're already beating literally the guy that was probably going to go and fight fucking Islam again, who already lost to him. And it's like, at this point, you're right now on top of the fucking world. You need to just prepare yourself. Yeah, I would say the odds are against him fighting Islam, but who are the odds not against fighting Islam? So, his odds were against him tonight.
If you go down to 145 again and try to come back to 155, that fluctuation in weight, it's
you're losing the muscle you just built.
But honestly, I would only, to me, it's like, again, like the word worth or need. Max Holloway has to do nothing.
No.
If
that's
Max,
in a situation, in a scenario in which that's what he wants to do.
Exactly, whatever he wants to do. So again, we're all hypothesizing because we don't know what he wants to do. But like, that's the question. That's why we said it. We started off saying whatever the hell he wants, give it to him. Now, me putting myself in his shoes, I don't know what the word is. I know how great Islam is. I do. There's just something that he's missing. Like, there's a part of it. Okay, I get it. He's so good, and this is a compliment to him. He's so good at what he does that he takes so many elements of MMA out to benefit his fight.
But I mean, he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski with a head kick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that he's not what Khabib was, in terms of the one-dimensional fighter that was just so goddamn good.
Yeah, with a head kick, but of a guy that had
of
1
a guy
week's
who was
notice.
I think I would consider not the second one.
The second one was 1 week's notice. The first one was the full camp, and the second one, and that's what I mean. But I'm not shitting on Islam. I'm not. The thing is, we know that there's star power to star power. His star power is off of greatness. You know, his star power is compared to Usman's. Usman was great. Now, there's a difference between what Usman was and what the guys like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Volkanovski. Those guys have an entertainment value that supersedes belts, supersedes rankings, supersedes everything. And Islam doesn't have that, right? And why does that matter? A lot of people say, "Oh, that doesn't matter." In the long sense of things, it does matter. Why is Cowboy Cerrone who Cowboy Cerrone is? Not because of belts, not because of ranking.
Did he ever win
for taking the fights,
He never
taking the
won a
fights
belt.
that he wouldn't even win. So that's the same thing I'm saying with Holloway. I mean, he's already that guy, but he will continue to do that by going and getting a belt at a different weight class and really building his gladiator persona that he's talking
But don't
about.
you
You know,
think-
we didn't walk around with scales. We didn't
Just
or
health-wise,
they-
Topuria is a more dangerous fight. Like, it's you have a more chance of winning, but you have a more chance of getting knocked out.
I mean, I think they're both equally dangerous, and I think Islam could fight Topuria, and that's still a dangerous fight for both of them. And when you're talking, one thing that was actually an exciting scenario is Holloway versus Sean O'Malley at some point. And that could actually happen even going the 55 path. You go the 55 path, become the champion there, you know, assuming that. And then Sean goes and fights Topuria, wins that, and then Holloway goes down 45 and gets his belt back at 45, or fights for the belt at 45. It could still happen that way too. So I think
And that's what I mean. I'm sure that Max Holloway he said it. He called out both. He called out Topuria. He called out Islam. And I'm sure if tomorrow whoever Dana White calls for first, he'll take it. I'm sure of that.
Absolutely.
Now,
it's a belt. Get
if
your
we're
belt,
talking
get your
about
money.
entertainment, what we want to see, what these guys do, is like, what's the over-under that you think that Sean O'Malley or Topuria, how many shots are they going to take on the first, like, how many wrestling shots are they going to take against Max Holloway? And
Oh, I mean,
None.
if you're talking about who's who is a better chance of victory, yes, it is at 145.
No, what I mean, what's a better chance of, you know what we love to see, like that stand in the middle, let's go, like that entertainment aspect of it. Islam, there's a chance he shoots 3 times against Max Holloway in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probable if he doesn't get him on with the first one.
You know what I mean? It's like it's probably one because he got him on the first one. So and for the next 5 minutes, we're gonna have to watch Max Holloway trying to get up off the ground.
But I think Max Holloway does have the style for it because he sits over that lead leg, which allows him to sprawl better from those low shots. And then, his boxing keeps his upper body away from him in terms of like the underhooks and the upper body takedowns and trips and stuff like that. His boxing's so good it keeps that distance. So the only option is to go for his legs, but his legs kind of sit behind him to an extent, especially when he doesn't have to worry about leg kicks as much.
But Islam just seems to be like a superior wrestler. Like
Islam I would good. I mean I wouldn't bet on Holloway on that one, unfortunately, but I didn't bet on Holloway on this one, so doesn't say anything about that.
And on this is like, for example, yes, I agree with you. Like Max will take whoever they offer him. That's just what he does. I would prefer to be Topuria. I would prefer it to be Topuria because I think it opens up more. I think that if he wins, which that it's more of a probability, because let's just say as betting guys, right? If he fights Topuria, it's a 50-50 fight. He can win, he can lose, right? Because Topuria is really good. If he fights Islam, I would say it's 70-30, 60-40 towards Islam. If he loses that fight, we're back to kind of where we're here, which is not a bad place. It's just like, who does he want to fight? Does he want to keep fighting? Now we're looking at the Dustin Poiriers. Now we're looking at whoever, maybe, a Josh Emmett type guys, like those type guys. If he beats Topuria, which is more probable, now we're looking Volkanovski again. We're looking Islam, that's open. We're looking Sean O'Malley, that's open. All of that opens up.
I think that actually would probably be what would happen. I think that if Topuria takes that, then Sean O'Malley's going to call out Holloway, and Holloway's going to take
all of that opens up.
So, yeah, that, in terms of wanting to see that fight, I think I can go with you on the 145 path because I do want to see that fight. And I do think that is the biggest money for him, is him fighting Sean O'Malley, super fight as the world champion, defending world champion. That is the best path for him in terms of financial gain.
And I'll tell you this, what I'm scared of.
I will pull back on my...
Sean meets Max Holloway to become the new BMF. Champ.
Like, who
That's perfect for the UFC. Good point. Very good point. 2 belts up for the fucking...
But if I'm being honest, I am scared that I don't think there's a chance we don't see Justin Gaethje again.
That knockout was sad.
And not just because of the knockout. First of all, again, the same things.
Just too many fights in order to get him to the belt again.
Yeah, and nothing left to prove.
And he was already talking about, and he's going to fix his nose again, and I'm going to go break it again, because any fight he fights, I mean, his style isn't like Holloway where his head moves. I mean, he swings, and when he moves his head, he actually more so puts himself in danger. I was calling for that left kick over and over because he would hang right. And, it was the same thing that when Dominic Cruz got caught by Chito Vera.
Yeah.
They do these hard slips, and caught him on the hard slip. Same thing with Kamaru Usman on the hard slip, got caught with the kick and got knocked out. Leon Edwards champion.
And like I said, nothing left to prove. Like this takes nothing away from Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is what he is. He's a Hall of Famer. He is a beast. He's a monster. But it's too hard of the pathway now to the championship, I think.
Yeah, I think he was expecting to get there quicker and then retire if he won.
I think he won this. If he won this, he was definitely next for the title. And it's just not happening no more. Now he has to go fight Sarukian. He has to go fight like a whole bunch of guys.
He has to take a fight like Poirier where he's fighting one of the guys.
And it's like, do you need to do that? Yeah. Even if you win that fight, doesn't guarantee anything. Like, so I think that it might be the end for Justin Gaethje, which is not a bad thing. The dude had a stellar career.
It's pretty bad for us, I will admit.
It sucks. It sucks. But it's like, when you fight those type of fights, or wait it out, maybe
just fight one a year and fight big money fights.
Exactly.
Go on the Nick Diaz
big money fight,
money diet. You know what I mean?
Fight. Go up to 170.
Paul.
No, not that.
I mean, fuck it. If it gets you paid, fight whoever the fuck you want.
Go up to 170. Fight somebody up there. A big money fight there would make sense. Like, go fight Covington. Go fight.
Yeah, let's not do that.
A big money fight or somebody who comes. If Nate
Nah, I
Diaz
mean he
comes
could
up,
fight Covington. We just saw. I mean, a weight change
Fight
that I
McGregor.
didn't expect.
Of course, if McGregor
Yeah,
comes,
fight McGregor.
That's a fantastic
that's
fight,
an
actually.
incredible
Yeah.
fight. There
That's
you
a
go.
fantastic fight. That should be his fucking next
If any
fight.
of the Diaz brothers come back,
Because I think Connor
Masvidal
could
comes
win.
back-
Connor could win that,
Yeah.
but you're winning it like in a serious fight. You know what I mean? Like that. That's a significantly
Yeah, those type of fights.
idea.
I
Yeah,
don't-
fantastic.
Don't go fight
fantastic.
Sarukian. Don't go fight like
Do
those.
what the original BMF did.
Exactly.
Connor would take that fight.
I don't think so.
Connor would take the fight against Gaethje. Why not? He's
barely
bigger than
taking the one against Chandler.
Yes. Yeah,
Chandler's
barely,
more.
he
But
hasn't.
I'd say Chandler's more dangerous to somebody like Connor.
You think Chandler's more dangerous than Justin Gaethje?
Justin
Because
Gaethje
he
beat
holds-
Chandler.
Killed
I
Chandler.
know, but
Yeah.
stylistically, Chandler is a wrestler.
But
he
doesn't
wrestles-
wrestle.
Yeah,
but
but
he
you think he's
doesn't
gonna
use-
go strike Connor? Connor, like
neither does
He's-
Chandler.
he's
fucking
stupid
left hand
enough.
killer.
Why has he been not wrestling all these people? Is my question.
He's gonna wrestle fucking Connor.
He should, but if he would have
He
wrestled
w-
Dustin
dude,
Poirier, he would
that-
have beat him.
Dude, when you talk about Connor, like people have forgot. You know, go watch highlights of
No,
Connor.
no, I am with you.
This man can strike. He cannot wrestle. So, you know, that
But-
being said, it's like any fight against a striker, Connor's like, yeah, I'm in. You know?
No, but I think that Connor. No, I agree with you. I think that Connor was smart enough to realize that this guy's not smart enough. Like it's like if he would have wrestled Dustin Poirier, he beats him.
Well, I'm sure after tonight, he'd rather fight Gaethje.
Who?
Connor. He's like, that's somebody that gets knocked out.
Yeah, but
Somebody
Gaethje's
that
not
gets
gonna-
knocked out and doesn't wrestle. And he can wrestle, but he
Gaethje's
does not
gonna
wrestle.
Fight for the next 6 months.
Who's that, Gaethje?
Gaethje.
Neither's Connor.
Connor
might
hasn't
fight in
fought
December.
3
I
years.
thought he was supposed to fight in.
I thought he was fighting in the summer.
Yeah.
I thought he was fighting 3 years ago.
Like, was it fight week? Yeah, well, that's it.
Right after he broke his leg. I was like, he's going to come back and
I think he's
fight.
international fight week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I think Connor and Gaethje. I'm sorry, Connor and Chandler are
Chandler.
international fight week.
I
Like,
find that hard pressed. But I hope you're right because I've been waiting. Because I mean, I love Connor. I
look,
love Connor. I
think
love his
that
fighting
makes
style.
sense. I'm like, if Connor loses, I think we never see him fight again. Let's start there. If he does win, Gaethje makes the most sense. Like, because Gaethje is a fight that he can win.
He
Why?
can win both of those. Let's be quite honest. But if
If the
Chandler
fight goes past
decides
the
to
first
wrestle,
round, he ain't beating Gaethje. I'll say that.
huh?
If the fight goes past the first round, he ain't beating Gaethje. Like, what hurts Gaethje?
Nah, I think he's got about 3 rounds in the tank. But
what has hurt Gaethje
Especially
in
with them.
history is pace, and Chandler. I mean, McGregor can put up on pace, but can't keep it.
but he does in striking fights. It's when people push his wrestling. That's when he can't. He gets too tired when he wrestles.
Like,
And then, of course, the time that you saw him tired striking was
Nate
Nate
Diaz.
Diaz. Like,
Yeah.
Nate Diaz tires out fucking everybody. He'll tire out a fucking...
But Gaethje has a pace to him too that's crazy. Like, so I think that, but McGregor can win that fight. But I think that makes sense. But that's the type of fight Gaethje has to take. And if you take those fights and you end up in for the title, perfect. If you don't, you
fight
don't.
Nate Diaz. Like, there's a perfect fight
Yeah,
right there.
Nate
Boom.
Diaz.
Money.
But Nate Diaz not in the UFC yet. No, that's what I said. I'm like, go up to 170 and fight those guys. Fight if
Yeah.
the Diaz brothers come back, fight them. If Masvidal comes back, fight
Yeah.
them. You can't fight Usman, but fight those guys at 170. Fight maybe money fights at 155. Yeah, that's all Gaethje has to do. He doesn't have to go fight Beneil Dariush and
Yeah, those fights
Yeah.
are... I don't think anybody cares to see him anyways. So it's like...
it's like
And if you win enough of these fights with, like, these small people, they'll just put you to the top. Like, all right, go fight number 3. If you win number 3, we'll give you another title shot.
exactly.
So you can go fight, you know, I don't want to say
And
wash-ups, but these money fights, and they will still add up and still get you the same result if, you
And
know.
we told Luis, like, we think that 135 is the most stacked division, right? 155 to me is the second. Like, to me, it's
I
135,
agree.
then 155. And to me, that's kind of...
I mean, 170 is stacked, too. Like, 170 is really stacked. It's
you go
just
through
like
170?
there's a difference. Welterweight, the thing about welterweight, I think there's the fights that are like the championship fights,
no
like the
star
top
power.
5. There's no star
There's
power.
no star power.
And all the star power lives like on the unranked.
It's good, but there's no star power. You're
We
right.
got
There's
Young
fun fights at
Edwards,
170.
Kamaru Usman, Bilal Muhammad, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Colby Covington, Jack Della Maddalena, Gilbert
Oh,
Burns,
stop
Ian
there,
Machado.
stop there. Yeah, there's no star power. There's
Magdalena, they're working on him.
he's not good enough.
Huh?
He's not good enough. Like,
I mean, he knocks out
he barely
everybody.
beat.
Holland.
No, he just beat.
He barely
Gilbert
beat Holland.
Burns.
Gilbert Burns was.
Yeah, like for example, that's why they brought in what's his name, the MVP. Like that division has no star power, and it's good, but like Bilal Muhammad, who everybody hates for some reason,
It's fucking good.
he's really good, but like again, honestly, the star power is in striking. If you're not a good striker, you're not gonna have the star power. You don't even
Well,
have to.
Magdalena's a fucking boxing expert. He's a
Yeah.
fantastic boxer.
And that's the thing.
He just doesn't talk very much, and that's what you
But
don't have
that's
these.
the problem with 170. It's full of wrestlers, so it's hard to get up
Oh
there.
yeah, for him to
Yeah.
get up there, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
It's full of wrestlers.
Well, if
so-
he can go straight to Leon Edwards, he has a chance.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, cause
Skip these other guys that are very hard fights and go straight to Leon.
Yeah, that's how I usually
Let
go.
Leon beat all of them and then fight Leon.
Yeah.
When Leon beats Bilal, you're starting to have a chance.
Yeah. All right. So next fight on the card, Zhang Weili versus Zhang Weili.
Next fight of the card is Zhang Weili versus
Yeah.
Yan Xiaonan.
You should have just said Zhang Weili versus Zhang Weili.
Okay, I'll let you take over for me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the stupidest decision Daniel White has ever made. The smartest decision he's ever made. What was his name? I'm trying to remember his name. Can you do me a favor, big favor, please? Can you pull up the Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje card, please? And I can't remember his name, but the guy was so good. He's never had a bad fight in his life. Every fight I've seen from him is so good. The guy who fought after them. But sorry, our Googler guy is not, it's also pretty late. Shane Burgos.
versus Billy Quanti.
Shane Burgos has never had a bad fight in his life. Never. But the problem was that fight came after Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. For some reason, they decided to have Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler on the first fight of the night. So after that fight that was crazy, nobody gave a fuck about this fight.
You can see there was empty seats.
Yes, you could see that people were like just exhausted from all the energy they spent.
Yeah.
The same thing happened here.
Mm-hmm.
You had the BMF fight, and then you put, with all due respect, very good. Like the fight was good. Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan, something like that.
Yeah.
Was very good. They were both very good. It was interesting. Almost finishes in the first round. Actually, she did choke her out.
Yeah, she choked her out.
She
She was
choked-
out whenever the
Like,
bell rang.
when she let go, like she was able to wake up. Very good fight, but people were just exhausted
Mhm.
from the BMF fight. That fight should have been the co-main event. And then, Alex Pereira, Jamahal Hill, that's going to attract people just being
Yeah.
the main event, being it. So that's fine there. But I think you just put the girls in a bad position. Like the crowd was a little dead just because of that.
However, I mean,
The fight was good.
that's a subjective point. More on the objective end, we really got to see Weili get pushed
what
today.
you said don't matter. This is what really matters.
Well, he ain't wrong, but
Yeah, like really going into the actual fight, because that's what we're doing. The fight was really good, and Weili was pushed very hard.
Yeah.
She got hurt multiple times. Now, as you said, point was, I think the fight probably should have been stopped with that choke. She was out.
Yeah.
They knew she was out. It was like this on the edge thing, and they just ran with it and moved forward. But that really, because of how the fight went, Yan got back into the fight, and I think that could have been detrimental to Weili and her career and her her money, everything. And but she did a fantastic job of keeping Weili in issues for most of the fight.
She was not an easy fight
No,
by far.
at all.
no, it was a good fight. But Zhang Weili, if you check, she has a pattern of this. Like maybe the best fight I've ever seen in the UFC. Maybe I'm trying to think of because the one that I saw live was Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
You saw that one live?
Live. Well, I mean like on TV.
On TV. Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, damn, you were at that
No,
one. That
but-
was a fantastic. It
Because
was
I
one of my
didn't
favorite of all
watch
time.
Carlos Condit versus Robbie Lawler. Like I watched the replay. I didn't watch Robbie Lawler versus the Canadian guy, Rory McDonald. I didn't watch that.
Those are
Like,
fantastic fights.
those fights were I didn't watch them in real time. Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier is up there, but trust me, I take Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk better than that one. Yeah, all those fights to
I
me.
really liked Colby Usman one.
That was good,
That was
but I'm
fantastic.
telling you, that one was better. Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk was better. Like, to me, as a as an MMA nerd, I like Dominic Cruz, TJ Dillashaw, but it
Those are
wasn't.
fantastic too.
But it wasn't that
Those-
bloody though.
Well, the brutality
Yeah.
and
That one was more technical.
Jacek's face after the
Exactly.
fight is just like, man, you've never seen somebody's face change so much in one fight.
That fight, I'm 100% in. That's the best fight I probably ever seen. Now, if you watch that fight, the first 2 rounds, Zhang Weili is on her. In the third, you see that Joanna Jędrzejczyk is kind of taking over. And you're like, oh, shit, this fight is even. It's the third round, and Zhang Weili's looking tired. In the fourth, a little bit of the same thing. She catches up, and, like, now it's 2-2. And she looks dead tired. And the fifth, Zhang
wakes
Weili got a second win and took over. I think the same thing happened in this fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a pattern where she looked tired
She
after
probably
the
takes
second
them,
round.
kind of takes them off,
Yes.
if you will, a little
In
bit.
a way. She stays safe and everything, but yeah, it seems like she takes them off. Or maybe she's just good at getting a second win. But I think the same thing happened, a little bit more clear. Like, she definitely won the first 2 rounds. I even think that the first one might have been a 10-8. Like, or,
Yeah.
yeah, like, or the second one too. Like, there might have been a couple 10-8s there. And then she took over. She won round 4 and 5. Like,
Well, I mean, and it also, if you think about it, just from a coaching perspective, when you're fighting a striker like Yan tonight, she's going to be more powerful in 1 and 2. So if you take 1 and 2 and you put her to the edge and you work her out and choke her out, she's
Don't
gonna
get too
be
excited
less.
now.
Yeah, she's gonna be less powerful in these next couple rounds. So if you're gonna take them off after you've taken some of the sting off of her punches. Which I'm not gonna say she lost a bunch of sting, but I mean, who knows what those punches would have done
Yeah.
in round 1 or 2. So, and everybody's dry. The gloves stick to your chin or whatever. So I think she would have been a little more dangerous early on, and also just then you could see how bulky Wei Li is. So
yeah.
she probably naturally gets tired in that amount of time, and with that output. But aside from that, who she was fighting is more dangerous at 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Main event of the night, UFC 300 light heavyweight title bout, Alex Pereira versus Jamahal Hill.
Honestly, I feel like this was maybe the worst actual fight of the night.
Well, that was
But
because
it
it was
only
like what
yeah.
one punch
Yeah,
though.
it was short.
It was 1
That's
point.
what it was.
I think we were all seeing if like Jamahal Hill could like surprise us, because he's a good fighter,
Yeah.
a very good fighter.
I mean, I thought he was gonna put up a really good fight, and I mean, you called it walking out. He looks nervous, and he couldn't really let anything go. I mean, he threw some kicks, and they were some good kicks, but I mean, he didn't get to take Alex's aura away, early on. He had to get some of that confidence taken out, and I mean, it's very hard to take it off of him. But I mean, you saw it when Adesanya, took some of that away, and you could see, what was it, even the first fight with Adesanya, where he did end up getting the knockout. You could see in that last round where he ends up getting the knockout that he seemed a little bit more timid, a little less willing to go in there and engage. And he does have the nuclear option, hits him with the hook and knocks him out. But if you can't get him to back up, if you can't get him to respect you, you're
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the thinking, and I get it that for you to become a UFC fighter, you need a delusion and an ego that's not
Yeah,
comparable
yeah,
to
yeah.
most. But I'm like, the common sense has to apply at one point. If I know what this guy could do, why the hell don't I shoot as soon as the bell sounds? The guy can't wrestle. He has not proven that he can wrestle. He's been taken down by everybody, and I get it. For example, like the closest fight that he got, he had 2 fights close to losing. And now, look, everybody tries to compare Adesanya. Adesanya is one of the best strikers to ever exist in the UFC. You cannot fight Alex Pereira like Adesanya fights him, because you're not as good as Adesanya on the striking.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's as good as Adesanya striking. So everybody else has to fight him like John did, Blachowicz, who almost won that fight. And John Blachowicz was 41 at that time. He's never been the best wrestler in the world. Like, if you're younger, better wrestler, quicker, faster, stronger, wrestle the guy. Why don't they wrestle this guy? He's proven that he can't wrestle. Daniel Cormier says the guy. It's scary that the guy is that much of a champion and he can't wrestle yet. When he learns how to wrestle, there's never beating this guy. Yeah. So it's like,
Well, I mean, Adesanya knocked him out,
but like again, the best striker in the that could probably ever exist.
and he got him one out of 4 fights.
But like for example, Strickland's proven he's a great striker. Couldn't do anything with it. Like Prochazka, good striker. Couldn't do anything with him. Like you have to wrestle this guy. If you don't wrestle this guy, you're not gonna beat him unless they have the striking prowess of a Adesanya, which comes once every 20 years.
I would like to see I'd like to see Sean again go after it, just because his head never really gets hit.
They're training partners now, so it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But no, even then, I don't. Pereira's never going down to one.
Well, yeah, and Sean's not a 205.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But what you call it? No, it has to. I would like to see Bo Nickel. Eventually,
Oh,
not
yeah.
yet.
Versus Alex Pereira?
Yeah, that's because that's striker versus wrestler, and not yet, but
Is that the same division?
Well, I think that's also what
No,
gives Bo
205.
Nickel. That's what.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind. But like somebody like that, because
I mean, but he could go up to 205. He's a big ass.
yeah, he
boy.
could go up to 205. Can you go through the 205 rankings, please? The thing is that there's not a lot there. I think we went through it. Ankalaev,
205 is from the beginning.
yeah.
Jamahal Hill, G. Prochazka, Magomedov Ankalaev, Jan Blachowicz, Alexander Rakic, Nikita Krylov, Johnny Walker, Khalil Rountree, Volkan Ozdemir, Anthony Smith, Ryan Spann, Alonso Mainfield.
Ain't nobody, bro.
I mean, unless he. Yeah, I think. I mean, there's
ain't nobody, dude. I'm telling you.
there's a bunch of people that he can win, and then what? So I think when you're thinking about like, and then what's, it's like,
There ain't nobody in that division.
are you gonna? Can he be a heavyweight? Yes, but does he make that move? I mean, he's not that old, but
dude,
I
with
mean,
that division, he could be the champion till UFC 400. Like with that
yeah, but
he can run through that whole division.
they start having to bring in people from other organizations and stuff.
I'm very respectful to UFC fighters. I'm just saying they're good. They're obviously great.
But that's not taking anything away from.
Well, they
Pereira.
also know they're like, fuck, that guy's a problem. Like, let's be quite honest. He's a problem for anybody. I mean, he can go right now to heavyweight and probably put some people to sleep without really gaining any weight. I mean, he probably has to lose quite a bit of weight even to hit 205. So that being said, heavyweight wouldn't be a problem for him. He's already at size. He just, now you got a couple wrestlers. Now you have Derek Lewis's. Now you got, and even like Derek Lewis got ultimate power, but I mean, when you're fighting, yeah, somebody like Pereira, it's like he can kick hard enough that by the time
Derek Lewis beats Pereira.
You think so?
Yeah, Derek Lewis beats Pereira.
You think
I don't think so.
No, I don't think.
he doesn't have the skill for it.
Yes, he does.
I
He's
don't
a
think
good striker.
But not better than Pereira.
No, but he doesn't have to be. He could probably take Pereira's punch. The guy he weighs 230
I don't think. No, I just don't think there's much
pounds
different.
cutting weight.
Yeah, but Alex Pereira punches harder than fucking
Not
Ngannou.
Derek Lewis.
Than Ngannou.
Oh, okay, in that game.
It's not a game. This thing actually is taking your.
It's real life, man.
No, but what it is, it's a measuring tool. It's measuring force. It's just his force is more than Ngannou's.
I just think it's science. It's like, it's.
Look, I agree with you. I think Alex Pereira
can beat Derek Lewis.
I don't think there's a lot of strikers, but
and
then
I like Derek Lewis.
No,
He's a
but then you
Houston
get
boy.
to like the John Jones, and then you're fucked. You know what I mean? Because John Jones can strike, and John Jones will take your
Derek
ass
Lewis
down.
is the leader in knockouts. Like, you acting like Derek Lewis can't hit.
We're not.
That's not. No,
we're
it's
talking about purely skill.
Derek Lewis has only lost to wrestlers, and this guy ain't no wrestler.
no. He got knocked out by
Tai Tuivasa. Like
Taito Ivasa. He
I think
got
that's also another good fight for Pereira. Ty.
huh?
I think that's also another good fight
these
for
guys
Pereira.
hit like trucks, man.
I'm not saying that. Okay, this is not saying that he's gonna win. I'm just saying that he has the best chance.
Tai
against those
Tuivasa
guys.
has to cut off 2 legs to make 185. Like that's what Alex Pereira
No,
fought.
we're not talking about them.
Pereira's at 205
No,
first
what
off.
I mean, that's what I mean. That's what anatomy is, like bone density and things like. There's human beings that will never make 185. This human being made 185 for a large part of his career. That means that this human being is just bigger naturally than this human being. Plus he's skilled. Plus he's a UFC fighter. Like,
But it's like we were talking about Usyk fighting Tyson Fury.
Yeah, but he's worked his way up to that, and he was a light heavyweight guy his whole career, and then went up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
This guy was a middleweight at one
Pereira is
point.
about the same size as John Jones. Not John Jones today, but John Jones then. Now, can he do it? He has to take a year off. So what does he do? He uses these next fights to fill out his skill set to go and fight heavyweight, probably to finish off his career, because he doesn't need to be faster.
He can
anymore.
fight heavyweight, but he has to fight the John Joneses, the smaller heavyweights. He has to fight John Jones, Tom Aspinall, Stipe.
Well, those are the
Those are
the two at the top. That's exactly who he wants to fight.
No, he can fight them. Y'all mentioned Derek Lewis.
No, but I don't think he beats them.
Derek Lewis has to cut weight to make heavyweight.
But I don't think he beats them.
Well, I think he could beat like a Tom Aspinall, but he probably cannot beat
think he
John
can beat Tom
Jones.
Aspinall.
John Jones is a
Right?
top level wrestler.
No, Tom Aspinall is a monster. I don't think he could beat Tom Aspinall.
No, I don't think he beats.
I don't think he beats Tom Aspinall.
I don't think he beats him today. He's not
He has
heavy
to fight
enough.
him next month.
No.
That's what he has
Did
to
he?
fight. Yeah.
Oh,
Who?
he did.
What?
He sure did.
Wait.
He
At
just did
301.
it.
He has to fight.
Next month, yeah.
Wait, hold on. What just happened?
Alex Pereira said he would fight Tom Aspinall at 301.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go! Come on, I'm down.
He said
I
he
think
needs
no,
a
I
year.
think.
I'm down too. I don't think he beats him, but it doesn't matter. Like you're
I
going
think
up to
no, I
heavyweight.
think he can definitely knock him out. If Tom Aspinall wrestles, he's a bitch. Come on, you already got the size. If you wrestle him, you're a bitch, bro. Come on, fight him. Look at fucking Holloway. After today, you should be fucking
Tom
everybody. Let's
Aspinall
just strike.
just knocked out a guy, a heavyweight number 3 ranked, that had just knocked out the last 4 guys inside the first round, and he knocked them out inside the first.
Yeah, but
Tom Aspinall's a monster.
I agree. He's fucking fantastic. That's why I want to see that fight because
Oh,
there's
I'm
no
with you. I
There's
wanna see it
no
too.
fucking okay. Like and if okay, Poatan, I don't want to see him lose because
Oh, he
right
losing,
now,
bro.
huh?
He losing, bro.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Like-
I don't think he loses to Aspinall. I think he loses to fucking John Jones. Aspinall,
I think we can agree to that.
Yo,
but John Jones because John Jones
I think he
has
loses
the
to all 3 of
wrestle.
them. And I don't think he can beat the big guys. Like the big guys get hit by humongous guys.
Well, he is humongous. He's just got skin and bones. That's all he's got on him right now.
No, but we're talking about guys that walk around 270 and cut down to 265.
But look at what he just fucking did right now to fucking.
yeah, to Jamal Hill though.
But I mean that's.
That's
Yeah,
not.
But he's
That's a
young
big
and he's a big boy. I'm
Jamal
saying
Hill would never be able to hang with those
yes,
guys.
Jamal Hill can never fight a heavyweight.
but again. But my point is, that punch would have probably knocked out fucking anybody. That's my point. I don't think that there's a lot of people taking that punch. I think that
I agree with that.
I think there's certain point where like your punches don't get that much harder. Now your chin does
Yeah.
continue to grow. So are they gonna have better chins? Probably. Now, however, when he does not have to cut any weight and he can get in the gym and do the same thing, this guy's a fucking Amazon. Like Amazonian. He will go and gain weight fast. You can tell his size. If they put him on a fucking regiment to get that size, he will.
For example, like the
Next month, I
the
don't
perfect
know.
striker versus striker, Cyril Gane versus Alex Pereira. Cyril Gane is humongous and moves like a light heavyweight guy, and gets hit. He got hit by Francis Ngannou, and nothing happened. You think that?
Well, I think that's the major difference. Is like what we're talking about is the chin difference, but I don't think that's what Alex has to worry about. What he has to worry about is his chin, not so much his ability.
That's the biggest problem. Like he's gonna get hit by this guy. Like the thing is that he faces guys who can't take his punch. Like
in 2 weight classes now, though.
in 2 weight classes now, and he wants to go to a third. And now it was a 15-pound difference. Now it's a 50-pound difference.
Well, I think what I think his thing is, he wants to go where nobody wants to take him down.
Who you think Stipe is not gonna try to take him down?
He doesn't want to fight Stipe. He's hoping fucking John Jones and Stipe.
John Jones is gonna take him down. John Jones
is
What?
John Jones submitted Sorogan in 30 seconds.
100%. But he doesn't care if he loses to John Jones.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're acting like you talk to Alex Pereira a lot.
I mean, we have conversations.
No, man. I'm saying, but look, I do agree that he has to go up to heavyweight because there ain't none that like heavyweight.
That's my point.
But
It's
I
like
think he
take
will
the year
lose
off.
when he goes up there.
Well, no, we'll take the year off.
He asked for next month, Matthew.
They better not give it to him. They better not fucking give it to him.
Well, I'm just saying, if he asks for next
Now,
month, he ain't taking a year.
I'm tuning in. If they do, I'm tuning in. However,
But my point to you is,
don't do it.
he just asked for a month. That means he ain't taking a year.
Well,
they ain't giving it in a month, but he ain't taking a year.
I mean, if he's confident, bro, I'm rolling with him, bro. I'm rocking with him,
I
bro.
think
I'm with
Adesanya
Alex.
Adesanya makes the most sense to me. Like
At 205?
at 205.
Yeah, I'm in.
That what makes the most sense to me.
I'm in. Well, he needs time to work. He needs time to work and get bigger. I think if you get a couple more fights at 205 and then take your year off once you've
Duplessis?
earned it, get your money in first.
I think Duplessis is a better fight.
Then Adesanya?
I think, of course, we're talking about.
No, he'll knock him out quick.
Guys that make sense, Duplessis makes sense.
Okay, are we talking
Duplessis?
Duplessis is huge. He has to go up eventually.
Well, no,
And-
he's big, but he's too short. He'll get fucking caught with
But
a
he can
knee or
wrestle.
an uppercut. But I don't think he's. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk on Duplessis. I need to see him next to each other because a lot of times I have this image in my head that they're so much different
No,
in
he's
size.
smaller.
Big.
Duplessis is smaller, but he's huge.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
But he can wrestle, so that's gonna be huge. Yeah, man. I think. Look, do whatever he wants.
Oh, overall, I think we'd all like to see him at heavyweight
I
at
just
some
wanna
point.
Pump the
Wait.
brakes a little bit, saying that he's gonna go knock out Derek Lewis, like Derek Lewis just walks around getting knocked out by everybody.
I mean,
He did a flying knee to knock somebody out.
Exactly. Yeah.
no, yeah, I think he's just skill wise, he's got a hard fucking right hand. That's what it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Left
He's got
hook.
a hard right hand. I mean, he can hit you with his fucking pinky. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
reality. He
right.
can hit you with his pinky and knock you out. But we're talking about he's not as clean of a striker. He's not somebody that's going to technically beat.
Derek Lewis.
Yeah, Derek Lewis is not going to technically get in there to hit Alex. With Alex gaining the weight that he needs to. I mean, I think it's about
Look,
20 pounds.
Have
He's
to
got to
take
walk
into
about
consideration
240.
That the way that he's gonna move at heavyweight is gonna be way different than the way he's gonna move at 205.
Look, man, I want him to fight next month because me and Luis have to be here for the sorry ass card.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
So
That
I
would be the only reason why that would make it.
Are they
worth it.
looking for somebody for?
I hope so.
I don't
For
think so. I think they have. It's the. what's
they
his
already
name?
have. It's Pantoja, not the.
Yeah,
the main?
Pantoja's the main event.
Trust me, if Alex Perez is in it, they'll move him.
Yes.
They won't that
As they should.
That, yeah,
As they should.
as they should.
Yeah, like
He didn't even fucking get hit today.
I
Yeah,
hope
let's
they do
fucking
it.
play him
I hope they do it.
because he could go loose to a
You know
heavyweight
what?
right now.
Honestly, we're probably gonna meet up on Sunday that day. I don't think we should spend all day here like for that. I'm sorry, that card is just. Unless they put Pereira in, but but
TBD.
yeah, right now. But thank you. How long we been here? Damn, we did good. All right, so thank you. Appreciate Matthew. Matthew will be here a lot more. Tuesday nights with us sometimes. Rec Combat. So we need more people for that. Isaiah, David, myself. Will handle the most of that. E.T., Ray, Luis, myself, David, Matthew, Isaiah. Everybody's part of the rec crew. We're gonna do more. We may go to what's the restaurant called?
Prime 131.
Part 131. You're gonna see videos of us going to restaurants, doing what's it called, food reviews, things like
Yeah,
that.
the Rec Eats.
The Rec Eats. That's what, or the Rec Kitchen, I think you called it.
Kitchen Eats. I don't know.
Well,
whatever.
Ray, we haven't seen him since, so you gotta follow up a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna do a lot more things. We have what, 4 videos coming out? 3 videos coming out this week?
Well, tomorrow, but about to
Tomorrow, actually,
have
yeah,
at least
right.
5, probably 6. Maybe
Yeah,
7.
dividing all these videos. We have 2 podcasts coming out during the week. We'll be here next week, so a lot of things coming out. So please like, comment, subscribe. Everything's on the description, right?
Yeah.
TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, everything. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Peace.
Peace.